Rio de Janeiro, home to some of the wonders of the world. This is also a city of striking contrasts. On one side, there's the lush, idyllic coastline and beaches.
The Copacabana beach.
On the other side, there's the huge tourist attractions and the massive crowds that go with them.
It's just absolutely heaving here, isn't it?
So, what is Rio really like as a holiday destination? Is it a once-in-a-lifetime experience? Or is it a city that has been ruined by over-tourism? Stay tuned to this video to find out, as I go through the main sights of the city and help you decide whether this Brazilian metropolis should be on your travel list. Of course, all visits to Rio de Janeiro need to include the beach, and this was the first place on our itinerary. And there's no better place to start than the world famous Copacabana.
Sugarloaf mountain right behind me. And these huge, impressive waves from the Atlantic rolling in. Welcome to Rio de Janeiro.
The waves can be quite high along the beach, so if you want to go for a dip, make sure you do so at the end closer to Ipanema. And there are also plenty of bars along the beachfront. It's a perfect place to stop, unwind, and just take in the beautiful surroundings.
A very windy Ipanema beach. On the samba bus, ready to set off around Rio de Janeiro. Although right now it's just a construction site right behind me, so we could be anywhere in the world.
We set off on the Samba Rio sightseeing bus so as to see the main sights and to get a guide to the city and its many landmarks. This is one of the only tour operators to do a bus tour of Rio, and it's a great way to get your bearings. There's so much to see in the city, therefore it's a great way to see everything in a rapid-fire manner and to help you decide where you want to visit. Hence why I'd recommend doing this tour early on in the trip, just like we did. If you want to book on this sightseeing tour, I've put the link in the description below.
Let's give you a welcome.
On to another day, and we headed over to the Lapa district. Here, colourful wall murals and street art are in abundance, which provides many a photo and selfie opportunity. But this isn't the main attraction in this part of town.
It's busy. Escalaron.
One of the most famous tourist attractions in Rio, Escadaria Celaron, otherwise known as the Lapa Steps, was created by Chilean artist Jorge Celaron, who lived in a modest house on these steps. Starting this project in 1990, in time, people from all over the world donated tiles from their home cities and countries, which form part of this incredible artwork. Celaron was sadly found dead on these steps in 2013, but his legacy lives on. As you can see, it's a hugely popular place, and rightly so.
A lot clearer at the top in comparison to the bottom, so work your way up.
That's right, don't follow the crowd and get photos at the bottom of the steps. The crowds thin out the higher up you go. But if you do want photos at the bottom, maybe head there early in the day, just after sunrise. Arguably, there are 3 instantly recognisable icons in Rio. Copacabana has already been ticked off, so it's now time to head over to Sugarloaf Mountain. Famous for its unique dome shape, this mountain takes its name from its resemblance to the traditional shape of concentrated refined sugarloaf. First, we need to get there. There are two segments to the cable car ride. The first takes you to Morro da Urca, a smaller hill in the shadow of Sugarloaf.
We ready to go? Et voila! Get an ass on it.
One down, one more to go.
Cuidado com o vão entre o bonde e a plataforma. Mind the gap between the cable car and the platform.
First on, last stop. Always the way.
Even though Morro da Urca isn't the main attraction here, it was a great place to get panoramic views across the Urca district. And there's a lot going on here, so make sure you stick around for a bit and explore. For example, you can find out about Rio's heritage as World Cup hosts in 2014 and Olympic hosts in 2016. And who knows, you might even make some friends with the local residents.
Sugarloaf Mountain.
Of course, there's no denying that Sugarloaf is the main draw here. There's a second cable car which will take you the rest of the way, which is iconic in itself. Installed in 1912, it was a trailblazer, with it being the third of its kind in the world. It's featured in many popular movies and television shows, such as The Simpsons, and an unforgettable fight scene in the James Bond film Moonraker.
View behind us at the top of Sugarloaf Mountain.
When you get to the top, you get to realise why this is an absolute must-do, no matter how busy it may look. With views across the jaw-dropping bay,
Christ the Redeemer just over there.
you are in for an absolute treat once you get to the top. The cost of a ticket is about 160 Brazilian reals, which works out at around £22 to £23. I've included a link in the description below, so you can easily book fast-track tickets for Sugarloaf, which works out a little dearer, but it cuts out all of the lines. After stopping by at a Brazilian staple and buying some authentic Havaianas, it's time to head back down at the end of another day, but with a glimpse of what is to come tomorrow. We're at Copacabana railway station, waiting to head up to see one of the modern wonders of the world. Can you guess what it is? Even despite an early start, the heavy crowds are in place, and we're wondering how long we'll have to wait to ascend up the mountain. Thankfully, the wait was a lot shorter than we expected, around 45 minutes to an hour. But before boarding the train, we were asked if we didn't mind standing, as it would be another 20 minutes until the next train came along where we'd be able to sit down. So stand we did. Now, going uphill on a steep incline, I'd say we made a bad choice. But after another 20-minute ride, we made it to the station at the top with only a short walk to go until we made it to our final destination. And there, coming into view, is Christ the Redeemer, a 30-metre high statue sitting atop a mountain that tops over 700 metres in height.
It's just absolutely heaving here, isn't it? Sorry. I think it's the only way to get a proper perspective view of Christ the Redeemer.
Now, this may be controversial, but I really didn't enjoy this experience. Seeing the statue itself was for me quite underwhelming, but the crowds that are here are also stifling, with barely any room to move around. The one positive thing from this vantage point are the views across the city and the bay. That for me is the real wonder of the world here.
was Christ the Redeemer, one of the 7 modern months of the world. Fantastic views, but I'm not sure it's worth the amount of queues.
So that near enough brings an end to my trip to Rio de Janeiro, but not before one last stop at Copacabana for a little party and some coconut water. How would I sum up Rio? It's exciting and it's vibrant, that's for sure. The natural beauty on display is wondrous, at times awe-inspiring. There's a lot of hype surrounding the city, and in many ways, it lives up to its own self-styled portrayals. But in others, it can be quite underwhelming, and at times, it really did leave me wanting more. If you've got plenty of time to explore South America, then sure, include Rio on your itinerary. But if you're stuck for time, then the likes of Buenos Aires and Iguazu Falls should be your priority. If you've enjoyed this video, please help me out by giving me a like and hitting the subscribe button below. My next trip is just around the corner. Ciao for now.